Hello everyone, and welcome back to Let's Play Let It Die. Continuation, hopefully, from the previous episode, which should be linked with this one, uploading them back to back. So this one is going to be a shorter addition to the previous episode, hopefully. I'm not going to make a long episode out of this. So, we had already defeated White Steel, done the quest for the death medal. Now we're going up again and fighting the fights legit. We're just gonna show off the moves of White Steel. I don't have a proper Hardened Nightmare setup for future Forcemen, so those are all also just gonna be a showing off the fight, just jumping in and defeating them with any means that we have available to us at this point in time. See, I don't have the Bowling Crusher for Red Napalm. I don't have the DBSS ready for Black Thunder, and I don't have, I guess, the Murderous Hockey Stick ready for Pale Wind. So we're just gonna go with what we've got, jump in and do as good as we can. As I said earlier, normal mode really is just practice mode. It is substantially easier than any other difficulty, and it's just to see and get a taste of the fight, how it's gonna go down when you really are serious about getting the gear and go in on hard mode. So what do we got here? We've got a shooter class, first time using a shooter, a 5-star shooter Stacy, and maxed out on Dex. She actually started off with some bonus points to Dex, not the maximum amount of bonus, didn't really re-roll her perfectly, didn't really care to either. So yeah, also the gear we've got here, like, I'm a physical person, I'm not a ranged person, so most of the armor I upgrade is focused on increasing strength. I haven't got a very good Dex increaser armor available yet, and do not really plan to get one soon. Hyakudori, that's the one. Let's go there. So the physical weapons we've got on us are just to deal with haters, because I'm not confident in using ranged against haters. I have with me a tier 4 Kamas that I've salvaged from some unlucky Terminator that didn't get the kill on me. So yeah, I've got a feeling that this might be a very short fight. So I'm gonna make sure to drag it out a little bit and show off White Steel's moves before one-shotting him, maybe? Damn it, did I forget? Would I find those? Probably not. I'll bring it for Red Napalm. I'm thinking about, whoops, that was a waste. I've also got a Ghastly Pitching Machine, which was my weapon defeating White Steel hard mode. Ghastly Pitching Machine. Actually, I had the grade upgrade before this, like the tier 2 upgraded pitching machine. I don't know what it was, +3, +4, dealing with White Steel hard mode for the first time. I was pretty bad at the game back then. Some would argue I'm still bad at the game now. Blueprint I already got. Actually, no. Shooter class is actually quite strong. They have some of the highest strength in the game, which is odd considering that they are focused a ranged fighter and have a really high dex as well. Shooters really, they're strange creatures. So they're really strong range fighters, but they're also not bad melee fighters considering their high strength. Crazy weird. I mean, I'm pretty sure I've got a stats comparison video somewhere on my channel. But I did make a note, and like a lot of the testing you can just do yourself in this game. It's easy enough. I guess it all just requires an inquisitiveness. So yeah, if you want to know the stats compared between the different fighter classes, all you really have to do is pick a star of fighter that you're comfortable wasting the money on. Let's say 2 or 3 star. Delete all of your fighters or just have one empty fighter slot, create every class, and I guess have enough experience available in your bank in terms of golden beasts to level up, I guess to give every fighter class enough experience to at least level 1 stat up to maximum. Scroll your stats up to maximum for every stat and then just make a note, like write it down somewhere. I've got a little notepad note of the 3-star fighters and maxed out stats so I can compare them with each other, and I've got I guess a ranking of who's strongest in each specific stat. And yeah, anyway, long story short, what I'm getting at is I've compared stats with all the fighter classes and found, surprisingly enough, that the shooter class is pretty strong. They have a pretty high melee damage, considering that they're range, compared to other classes. I think they're like the second, or no, they're the 3rd strongest melee fighter. The 2 strongest melee fighters, unsurprisingly, are the striker and attacker, and then the 3rd strongest, the shooter. I think it's like that. They're definitely higher than... Is this the way? This is the way. Off we go. Definitely higher than the tank, the defender class. Defender class, I think, has some of the lowest strength, but then they're focused on tankiness and vitality and health. I would get into the shooter class on this account, but it's taking enough effort to upgrade the physical weapons, so I can't promise anything. But I would like to make a viable static massager build once I finally get that weapon. Get her! No! Kablow! Kablow! Yeah, you should have had your guard up better, buddy. Range weapon! I'm a range user! Gimme, gimme! That's the way to go. Off we go. Okay, I've got enough I've got enough kill coins on me, 140,000. I picked up a bit of death metals because I needed to purchase an armor set, and I was looking in my reward box and it looked like 12,000 kill coins, but it was accidentally 120,000 kill coins that I picked up. It was a successful war top contribution reward. So yeah, serious overkill with the kill coin pickup there. Again, with white steel fight, you can buff a lot of different buffs before even entering the arena. This one doesn't remove buffs. This machine doesn't remove buffs from you before you start the fight. The machines from here on out will remove buffs before you start the fight. So you'll have to buff inside the boss arena. I mean, essentially, you have to buff inside the boss arena. It's pointless if you ask me. It's really silly that there's like, hey, this machine stops mushroom doping, they say. So yeah, okay, then we'll mushroom dope inside the arena. Pointless. Devs, what are you doing? Whatever. Anyway, here we go. A stupidly damaging Kamas. I guess I'll shoot him a bit with the regular Kamas and with the ghastly pitching machine. I don't know if I'll survive this one. Maybe I will. Anyway, life shroom. Here's a very useful mushroom. Killing the lizards or golden lizards will give you dragon shrooms. The golden dragon shroom being the best, and it stacks. And this is a buff that isn't removed by white steel. It's one of the buffs that isn't considered a priority remove buff. And it isn't even a buff that can be removed by this Forceman in particular. So you can infinite ammo versus white steel. I can't believe I forgot to go over the weaknesses. Well, serious oversight here. White steel, the Forcemen are resistant to their own weapons. The weapons they use are the damage elements that they're resistant to. White steel uses an electric weapon and a blunt weapon. He's resistant to those damage types. He's either neutral or weak to those other damage types. Oh, excuse me. So yeah, white steel, we know his armor, we've seen his armor, he's weak to piercing. However, it's easier to kill him with the Dragon Buster swords as counterattack. He's neutral to slashing, and the nature of that rage move is perfect for farming him. However, if you love playing the game as a shooter, the shooting class is also a viable strategy, though it is a little less cost effective. You'll spend a lot of ammunition, you'll spend a lot of weapon durability shooting him to death, and you'll spend more mushrooms in the form of, I guess, lizards. You'll have to farm up some lizards to get the infinite ammo mushrooms. So I'm not going to use a lot of these mushrooms right now. I'd buff up before the fight to get ready to take him on, but I really want to show off his moves, and I don't want the buffs to run out, so I'm just going to hop into the fight, and I'll probably get my ass kicked trying to buff during the fight. We'll see. Don't equip the wrong Kamas, don't kick his ass too quickly. Use the other Kamas. Gimme normal white steel. Shooter style. Now, if you level up the Kamas significantly, if you bring it to tier 4, going in with a shooter tier 4 Kamas is a very viable strategy against him. Now, the tier 4 Kamas was not yet released when he came out, when the White Steel Unleash happened. It happened a while afterwards, but when tier 4 Kamas first released, everyone considered it to be vastly overpowered. Again, baits and dodge his attacks, a good way to get her done. Stab him. Oh my Jesus, fuck, that's okay, dude. Normal, I guess. Normal difficulty. Sorry, I almost stabbed you to death in one hit. Okay, what I wanted to explain is when he taunts is a really good time to get damage in. Oh no, you're punishing me, you're punching me to death. Okay. Commentary on the fight. Initiate. White Steel, very punishable when he taunts. Good time to get damage in. Bait and move out of his attacks. These will do serious damage in hard mode and beyond. And yeah. In nightmare mode, he will do even more damage. He won't have more health, but the timer will be reduced by 30 seconds. It will be 30 second less timer than normal and hard mode in nightmare. So you want to get damage in as he is taunting. Whenever he does this combo, you have a chance to get like one hit of damage in on him. And one of your biggest issues with this fight is going to be getting out of the way of his melee combo and getting out of the way of this zappy attack. That is serious armor breakage going on there. Your armor will not last if you get hit by a lot of those. And as he hits you more and more with that attack, your armor will get broken and your defense will go down, and then he'll probably finish you off with his physical attacks. Now, the White Steel has been out for long enough that everyone has had a really good chance to get used to the attack style of the weapon and get good at dodging it. A style of fighting him a lot of people cycle around him for the final attack to get a counter-attack in. Okay, here's his zappy range attack. Relatively easy to dodge compared to the three-pronged lightning attack. See, that's how a lot of people dodge his final swing. They cycle around him and hit him in the back. With a physical weapon, of course. Punch you dead. You be dead. Oh shit, I shouldn't have punched him with the tier 4 camo. Wasted durability. Oh well. I could have let him kill me, but I'm gonna die to Red Napalm, or I'm gonna die on Red Napalm's arena to show that off. As we saw in, God knows, one of the previous episodes, where I was rambling a lot, you can die on a Forceman floor and it's free recovery costs. Like for the low floors, it won't matter. I'll put it this way. Do you really care about the recovery cost of dying on floor 4 when it costs you 100,000 to start the fight on Nightmare difficulty? I think not. Now on higher difficulty bosses, on higher difficulty Forcemen, it is more useful because the recovery cost for dying on those floors is more substantial. Now on most other Forceman floors than this one, there's hazards on the floor itself, and you can actually kamikaze your way back to the waiting room after the Forceman fight is over. So you defeat the Forceman, suicide, and the free recovery costs for dying on a Forceman floor is still valid. So that is a really quick way to return from Forceman fights, and I'll be showing that off shortly. Actually, do I have something explosive? Nope. I guess I could just... I'll just carry on. I'll continue on back to the waiting room. There's no real point in not doing so. I'm heading back anyway. Might as well continue recording here. So that's White Steel normal mode. I mean, the whole reason for this extra episode is to show off his moves, as you won't be seeing much of his moves if you're doing the... God damn it. Screw you. And you. You won't be seeing much of his moves if you do the Dragonbuster Sword S counter strategy to farm him, which is by and large the most effective White Steel farming strats. Like, you'd be hard pressed to come up with a better White Steel farming strat. If you are appropriately geared, I'll put it that way. Let's say you're going real crazy in the game and you've got a whole set of 4th tier, like really strong weapons and armor already, then I'm wondering why didn't you take on White Steel earlier? But yes, of course, there are weapons out at the moment which will make even White Steel Nightmare a joke fight. So yeah, among the Forcemen, White Steel is by far the weakest, because the fight is not at all balanced around the fact that there are tier 4 weapons available. The other Forcemen are balanced around that idea. Where are you going? Oh wait. Dead. Bye bye. You can also perish. And here we go. Return to the waiting room. And no point in subjecting you guys to the loading screen. I'm just going to end the episode here. And that was a not so short extra episode on White Steel fighting strategy. Good luck everyone who's farming him. And see you all in the next episode.